Elevate blog. I'm here with Daniel Browne today. Dan, where are you in the world?
I am in the Dominican Republic, and if anyone is wondering where the heck is that, most people know where Cuba is, and most people know where Puerto Rico is. Well, we're in between those two.
I see. Okay.
And we actually share, it's a big island, and we share it with another country called Haiti. And so it's two countries on one island in between Cuba and Puerto Rico.
Right. So how did you end up there? Was it to do with teaching or another reason?
It was actually with my wife's teaching role. She got a job here, and on a more broad level, I have a younger sister, and adopted sister, and my parents adopted her from here. So she was born in the Dominican Republic. She doesn't speak Spanish.
Right.
She was
and how long?
She was 1 year old when they got her, and I speak more Spanish than she does.
I was going to say, how long have you been there now?
6 years, 7 years.
I see. Okay. And you're an English teacher?
I am. Yes. That's what I think I am anyway. Try to do that.
Yeah. Are you teaching online?
Mostly online, yes. 95% online. I do have, every now and then I have a student who's in person here. And I actually, yes, mostly online.
I see.
It's really weird or strange how not a lot happens in person here with I guess English tutoring, or because I'm not a teacher. Teaching is separate, a licensed teacher working at a school. So as a tutor, I'm separate. So as you know, post-COVID, everything has gone online, and it's kind of stayed there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, me too. It's happened the same way for me as well. So tell me about your students. Who do you teach, and what do you help them do?
Sure. I've been delighted. It's been awesome to have students from all over China, Europe, Asia, South America. I think all five, not Australia yet, but the Americas, Europe, and Asia, and hearing about their story and learning, just hearing when we share a language, that's actually the most intriguing part for me, is when there's any commonality in the language. They're learning English, and when I've been able to learn Spanish, and hearing how all the different sounds and everything, words, how they connect across I'll say the Latin American languages, the Latin-based.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can do some, I can start listing off some countries for you, but of where my students are, and but suffice it to say, Europe and the Middle East and South America.
Awesome. Well, tell me about students then. Tell me, do you have any memorable moments with students? Any times they've had a big breakthrough with you, or you've connected in some way?
Yes, actually, just the other day, I came up. He said he was having trouble visualizing or seeing the word, and I said, "Wow, that's interesting, because I have something that might help you," and it's called an inflection graph of a word, and it is, like it says, it's a graph that shows English to Spanish. Really, you start over here on the left, and the inflection, most English words start up here and they go down in the tone. Spanish words, they start low and kind of do this, maybe, and it goes by syllable. I had to ask ChatGPT to make it for me, and it took a while to finally even realize what I wanted, what the question was.
Mm.
And when he saw that, he's like, "Oh, okay, yes." And so that was encouraging. That the exact thing that he was looking for was I was able to help him with,
Mm.
and that would get into pronunciation again, inflection, where you put the accent. Most people think that English doesn't have an accent. I think it does. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
not. It's just not written right. It's not. Doesn't have the symbol, and I think most languages do. And for him, again, me finding, yes, that was my visualization too. Of there's got to be a way to write out, see the word
Mm.
in a line or graph form, and wow, I finally found it. Great.
Yeah.
That was good.
Uh,
And other
mm.
similar moments where I can take, I change the letters around. I change the letters till I get them to say their target word. Okay, you said it. That's how you say it. Now here's how it's spelled, which is different. I say, "Welcome to English," unfortunately.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of my things as well. Yeah, spelling and pronunciation, different things. It's hard. Do you
And as
find, mm, oh,
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
yes. No, I was just going to say, and as you know, of course, there are different words between British English, the UK, and the USA. All these different words that mean the same thing. So that's another topic, though, right?
Yeah. That is a whole other video. Yeah. Yeah. Do you find that using the students' like mother tongue, native language, is helpful in lesson to like connect? Like this is the difference between Spanish and English, or whatever it is.
Definitely.
Mm.
That is what I have learned. I don't know if I would be half as effective of an English teacher had I not learned Spanish. And that's kind of one of my, but basic, the short answer is yes. It's taken me learning Spanish or any second language to appreciate one, my first language, and then appreciate the struggle that even someone who's actually needs to learn it is going through. Uh, as you know, we call that empathy. How, you know, empathy and the ability to build on their first language, or again find that connection, is huge. I think it's invaluable. There's no number, and I would almost call it a requirement or an industry standard. I don't know of any. Is it possible to teach a second language when you only speak one language? I think it might be. Is it effective? I'm not sure. Uh, Meaning, you pick a number, 4 to 5 times more effective when you or I have gone through the effort of learning a second language and then teaching someone else, walking with them to learn that their target language, if it's our first language, etc. And then learning all the similarities between them. Every day, I learned a similarity of a language that I didn't know there was the similarity. And that's when I I'm excited, I'm encouraged to keep going.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, that's good. I think when you're learning, you get focused on the differences and all the stuff you don't know. And it's all, especially as, you know, I live in Japan, and you could not get more opposite languages than English and
Yes.
Japanese. It's easy to focus, oh, everything's so different. There's no commonalities. But then, yeah. you do find, or things you can associate. Oh, that sounds like this word in English.
Yes.
So, okay, that's related for me. Yeah. So it's a good point to focus on similar things.
And I would add for you, it was even more difficult for you or others of non-Latin based, I'll say Asian languages. My wife speaks Mandarin. She still cannot write it, but she could speak it and understand it. For you, Japanese, it's an entirely different. The Roman alphabet is not the alphabet; it's symbols. That's to me that's another level. I'm intrigued by that.
Yeah, it's different. It's hard, but yeah, if we look at similarities, it's a good way to get your mindset in the right place.
If you can get it, if you can grab on that 1%, that one thing that's similar, and then it can be pleasantly surprising what happens from there.
That's true. Nice. Okay, so tell me about, why do you keep being a teacher?
I like to, I guess, help others, and I realized that 7 years ago that, especially in a one-on-one setting, I guess I've maybe finally discovered this gift that I have, and I guess you could say I'm still kind of new at it, and I'm just trying to refine it and get better at it and become more efficient. And maybe it came from living here and being surrounded as you are by Japanese and whatever else is spoken there. I am to Spanish. It's being swimming in it. You're swimming in Japanese, I'm swimming in Spanish here. And I like to think, of course I'm biased, but I like to think that I have, because of this, that I have a higher empathy than someone else, or any teacher like us who has gone through the process of learning a language the hard way, of being immersed in it. I'd like to think that we have more empathy, that maybe we think, I don't want this person to have to go through what I went through, all the anger and frustration and, oh my gosh, what's wrong? Why can't I get this? So we help our students more because we understand what we went through, and we don't want them to have to go through exactly the same, maybe, craziness that we did.
That's it, exactly. Yeah. Okay.
And we're both meeting a need. And if I can help someone, give them an extra hand to help meet the need, that's, I guess, why I'm here. That's kind of my job. And then whenever there's humor, whenever there's another commonality, it's icing on the cake, and just makes it all the more motivating.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. Okay, and on that note, Daniel, thank you very much.
Thank you, Abigail. Appreciate it.
No problem. See you.
Okay.